Okay, get this. What if I told you that making a cinematic, super professional-looking documentary wasn't just for big studios anymore? Like, what if one person, with the right set of tools, could create something absolutely stunning in just a few hours? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's get into it.
I mean, listen to that. That sounds epic, right? Like a clip straight out of some high-budget Netflix series. You've got the visuals, the voice. It just has that feel, that professional polish. So here's the crazy part. What if all of that was made entirely with AI? By just one person, in a couple of hours? Yep, that entire sequence you just saw, the script, the images, the video, the voice, even the music, all of it was generated by a single creator using a stack of AI tools. The possibilities this opens up are just, wow, mind-blowing.
All right, so how on earth is this even possible? Well, the secret is all in the toolkit. We're talking about a complete production pipeline that's powered from start to finish by AI.
And here it is. This is the stack that made it all happen. You've got ChatGPT for scripting, Nano Banana Pro for those gorgeous still images, Kling AI to actually bring them to life with motion, then there's 11 Labs for a supernatural-sounding voiceover, Suno AI for the music, and finally CapCut to stitch it all together. So let's dive in and break down each one of these steps.
First things first, every great film, every great video, it all starts with the blueprint, the script. You've got to get this right, because it's pretty much the foundation for the entire project.
And, the process is actually pretty straightforward. First, you just pick a topic that you're passionate about. In this case, the creator went with ancient Egypt, which, is super visual. Then you use tools like Google and ChatGPT to do a little research and draft up your narration. But here's the really brilliant part. You then go back to ChatGPT and ask it to break down your script and create detailed image prompts for every single scene. This basically automates what used to be the really time-consuming part of storyboarding.
Okay, so you've got your prompts ready to go. Now it's time for the visual magic to begin. We're going to take those descriptions and feed them right into an image generator to start creating the core visuals for our film.
Now, the creator is super honest about this, and it's a really good point. This isn't some one-click magic button. You might not get the perfect image on your very first try. Getting those really stunning cinematic shots, well, it takes some trial and error. You have to remember, these tools can be very literal, and sometimes they just miss the nuance you're going for. So you've got to be ready to tweak your prompts, change a few words, and regenerate until you get that perfect shot.
And this really drives that point home. I mean, to get that one single shot of the pyramids, the creator had to generate more than 10 different versions. So persistence really is key here. It's all about refining and refining until what you see on the screen finally matches that vision you have in your head. Okay, here's a fantastic pro tip from the creator that's a real game changer for creating smooth camera movements. Instead of just generating one image for a scene, generate two. You use your first image as a reference to then prompt the AI for a second, slightly different version, maybe like a close-up or a shot from a different angle. What this does is it gives you a clear start point and a clear end point for your video transitions later on. Super clever.
All right, this is where things get really, really cool. You've got your beautiful still images. Now it's time to bring them to life. We're going to animate them and create those incredibly smooth, professional-looking transitions. So you could just upload a single image to a video generator and type in a prompt like zoom in. And that's okay, it works. But the creator found a much, much better way. By using a tool like Kling AI that actually lets you use a first and a second frame, you can upload both of your images, that start point and that end point we just talked about. This gives the AI a really clear path to follow, and the result is a much smoother, more controlled, and way more cinematic transition. So the process is pretty simple, right? You use that two-frame option, you upload your start and end images, and you write a basic prompt. But here is the absolute crucial step. You have to clearly direct the camera's motion in your prompt. A simple little phrase like zoom in smoothly or pan left slowly makes all the difference in the world. Okay, the visuals are done. Now it's time for the final polish. This is where sound and editing come in to really tie everything together and bring the story to life.
Here's another one of those little details that has a huge impact on the final product. Instead of just typing the script into a text-to-speech tool, the creator did something smarter. They recorded the narration in their own voice first. Then, they took that audio file, uploaded it to 11 Labs, and used the voice changer feature. Why? Because this process captures all the natural pauses and the cadence of real human speech, and that gives you a much, much less robotic AI voiceover. It's a great trick. And finally, it's time to pull it all together in an editor like CapCut. This is where you bring in all your clips, you adjust their speed so they match the timing of the voiceover perfectly, maybe you add a simple color filter to give everything that consistent cinematic vibe, and of course, you mix in your background music. This is the final polish that takes all your separate pieces and turns them into one cohesive story.
So let's just step back and think about this. This entire workflow, this whole documentary, was done by one person in just a couple of hours. That's insane. The barrier to creating really high-quality content has basically been erased. This kind of workflow puts the power of an entire production studio right at your fingertips.
And really, that brings us to the most important point of all. The technology. It's not the limitation anymore. The tools are here, they're powerful, and they're more accessible than ever. So the only real question left is the one right there on the screen. What story are you going to create?